Abhishek Sudhir, you can argue it whichever way, but I don't think this is about kabza. I don't think this is about encroachments. Because if this was about illegal construction and encroachments, I can assure you that I come from Lucknow and you come from Lucknow to a certain extent as well. Half of Lucknow would have to be demolished. Same is the case with Delhi. So this is not about illegal kabza. This is about making a point, a political point.
Well, Shreya, I'm glad you mentioned Lucknow and Noida. I've heard the political speak on the show. I've heard lawyers speak on the show. Today, I'd like to speak as a common citizen. My view on bulldozer justice has evolved. Honestly, I found it very jarring a few years ago when Yogi ji rolled out this policy. I've spoken against it on national television. But today, I heard you run a bite from Akhilesh Yadav, who said that this is unconstitutional. The two most prominent Samajwadi Party leaders who've had their properties demolished in the last 1 month are Nawab Singh Yadav and Moeed Khan. Nawab Singh Yadav today, who has been accused of attempted rape, his DNA was found on the 15-year-old victim. Then we have Moeed Khan, who raped a 12-year-old girl, impregnated her. Akhilesh Yadav said, where is the DNA test? Well, we have the DNA test. The properties of Moeed Khan and Nawab Singh Yadav were demolished. All well and good, rule of law, Shreya, all well and good. But in this country, justice is not delayed. Justice never arrives. At the end of the day, I'm an advocate. I'm sick and tired of the rule of law. If you follow the rule of law, the release of the Bilkis Bano rapist was in accordance with the law. Maybe it was against, morality, but the release of the Bilkis Bano rapist was in accordance with the law. All the powers were exercised by the constitutional authorities in accordance with the law. Today, I would like Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari to answer about Moeed Khan and Nawab Singh Yadav. Their properties were demolished for raping a 12-year-old and attempting to rape a 15-year-old. Am I going to go explain to my cook, to the person who comes and makes food for me, the rule of law, Article 21 of the Constitution of India, if a child is impregnated and raped by a Samajwadi Party leader at the age of 12, sure, BJP leaders might be guilty of rape and their properties don't get demolished. But at the end of the day, Yogi Adityanath has made Uttar Pradesh safer. That I have realized in the last 3 years. Remember, Shreya, I've been a proxy for the Samajwadi Party.
My dear friend Abhishek Sudhir,
my views have evolved on this because at the end of the day, after the 2024 Lok Sabha mandate,
so are your views? Why are your views?
At the end of the day, if you're raping children,
why are your views then not evolving when it comes? Abhishek Sunlo. If that is the logic that you are giving me this evening, then what about Vijbhushan Sharan Singh? कहाँ रहता है? दिल्ली में नहीं रहते वो, गोंडा में रहते हैं।
Absolutely.
उनके घर में तो नहीं चला बुलडोजर, केस चल रहा है। There is a case against him in court.
Let me answer. Shreya, let me not mince. Shreya, let me just make my point. You've asked me a direct question. Let me make my point. Abhishek Sudhir, I'm a Hindu. I feel safer if the BJP is in power. Vijbhushan Singh's house, if the BJP wants to demolish it, I'll support it. If they don't want to demolish it, if that means the Samajwadi Party comes into power, I don't want that. I, as a Hindu, feel safer if Yogi Adityanath is Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. I, as a Hindu, will feel unsafe if the BJP and Yogi Adityanath is not in power in Uttar Pradesh. I will think as a Hindu and vote as a Hindu from this day forward. And today, if the bulldozer justice is keeping criminals at bay,
Abhishek,
so be it. So be it.
That is hypocrisy then. That is hypocrisy then, but I'll let Ghanshyam Tiwari come in. That is hypocrisy. That bulldozers will roll on the homes of political opponents and the minorities, but not your own people, despite the fact that they are accused of crimes as heinous. That's hypocrisy. And then what happens? Then what happens to the courts? Courts ka kya hoga? Abhishek, what do we do with the courts in this country?
The Constitution does not change history. The Constitution doesn't change.
So what do we do with the courts in this country?
The courts in this country are useless.
We can then just bypass the law. We can just bypass the law. Ghanshyam Tiwari, would you want to come in here?
Ambedkar said, I will burn this constitution. I'll be the first to burn it. Those who operate the constitution is what matters. Otherwise, it's a piece of paper. What, 25, 30 years for a conviction in a criminal case?
So essentially, you're making a case for jungle Raj in this country and kangaroo courts, right? That's the case you're making this evening. And and where was the justice in what happened in Ujjain?
Look, Shreya,
I don't have a house in Lutyens. I don't have a bungalow in Lutyens, Delhi. I think you and I both know I live in a rented flat in Noida. So ठीक है सुधीर अब सुधीर एक और बात सुन लो you know you're talking about instant justice and no hope the point I'm trying to make is you're very conveniently forgetting what has happened in Ujjain. Ek minute, don't hijack this debate. Abhishek, don't hijack this debate. You are completely forgetting the point that I made on Ujjain. The fact that a teenager is put in jail for 5 months for spitting on a Hindu procession. Turns out he never did it, and his house was demolished.
Their ancestors have demolished our temples in Ujjain. Why should I cry for them? I won't. They never cried for my temples.
Ghanshyam Tiwari, would you want to come in here? ये तो अभी the BJP spokesperson was saying this is not about Hindus and Muslims. It's interesting to see that's exactly what it has become.
I think why should I speak in?
ठीक है. अरे भाई रोक जाओ अभिषेक. What has happened to you today? सुन ली तुम्हारी बात. Now let the others come in.
Shreya, I would not want to subject logic and viewpoint to one's blinded hypocrisy and political ambition. If you go from party to party, eventually you will be rudderless and your points will be without logic, will throw a rhetoric because now you want a career in other party. So my best wishes to Abhishek in his this new career as or new avatar of a hateful preacher for BJP. But I am shocked that if the lawyers in this country are saying that the courts are not useful and they are arguing, like the previous Supreme Court lawyer also said, they want justice to be seen, to be delivered. That is what Taliban does. That is what Taliban does. If the Supreme Court lawyer is saying that they would want justice to be seen, to be delivered, then they are all arguing for kangaroo court. And this is what happens when you run the state system as a mafia. It is a sorry state of affairs that BJP, being the largest party in India in terms of number of states they run the systems, the constitution, everything as a mafia, that they will choose who will get justice, how will they get justice. If you create a propaganda against a community or an individual, first in your favorite channels, that this person is criminal, even before any charges have been framed, and then you on the accusation send bulldozer, what do you expect? People will cheer because you have created a tamasha around it. The court or the justice system is not a tamasha. It has a due process. And if the lawyers in Supreme Court, if they are really true, and your viewers can hold them accountable, if they are true to their new idea of anarchy in India and Taliban system in India, then they should throw away their gowns. They should not write that they are advocates. Because you can't say this, that you want justice to be seen, to be delivered in protection of this whole bulldozer system, which is by a party that has garnered 13,000 crores in chandas, in the Chandalu Dhandalu model. There is no morality here.
Okay. ठीक है. I think our viewers are, what is the job of a news channel? The job of a news channel is give our viewers information and give them all points of view. So I think we've got all points of views in. We've got the point of view of a lawyer who's practicing. We've got points of view of political people and even a common citizen. Abhishek Sudhir this evening is calling himself a common citizen of Uttar Pradesh. I think our viewers, अच्छा ठीक है, हो गया. Sudhir, I don't know what has happened to you today. Next time, please come to the studio. It's just, having a conversation is just easier with you under those circumstances. For the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we've given you all points of views. It's up to you to decide.